Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Tonight, we're going to talk about empowering your dreams. Today's a special day because my grandma would have been 100 years old. So she passed away about almost 10 years ago. And I'll read you one of the quote that, obviously was in French, but then I realized that it was very, very close to Mother Theresa. And so here's the quote. The quote is, "Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin." So let us begin today to empower our dreams. And it was a very powerful day for me because I started to make an inventory of all the most beautiful manifestations that I've had in my life. Actually, now I'm kind of channeling a little bit about my intuition, and I remember a story of my grandma that she raised 5 boys. So imagine that. She lost her husband. My grandpa had a heart attack. And there was a day where, all the boys were at the apartment that they were living in, and there was a fire, and she lost everything. And I remember she was telling me the story. Actually, just even before the live, I was asking my dad, I was asking my godfather, "You remember that story, what she told me?" And I think she told me at a time where maybe I had lost faith, and I was trying to find a solution, and it was hard for me. And she told me the story. And what she was telling me during that story is that when everything was gone, like she had nothing, like nothing. And imagine like you're a single mother and you have to raise 5 boys. And she said, "I was walking on the street and I was looking for a sign. And then I saw a car passing by. And on the car, there was a little sticker. And it said, 'You're never alone.'" And it was a God sign. And she got her faith. Like she had so much faith. My grandma had so much faith. It was unbelievable. So today I guess she was with me because I thought about all the most beautiful manifestations that I had in my life. And I asked myself, was I really the creator of all the most beautiful experiences that I had in my life? Ask yourself, like, think about all the most beautiful things that you've had. Maybe a trip, maybe a friend that you so love that's in your life, or a job you had that you really truly enjoy, or anything you can think of that you would consider your most beautiful manifestations or creations. And so I thought about that, and then I thought, was I really the one that created that? And almost like 90% plus was never ever just from me. And that's why I called it the act from GUS. So who's GUS? GUS is God, the universe, the spirit. That's actually one of my friends that told me that last week. I thought, oh, that's so cool, GUS. You can talk to GUS. Hey, GUS, what's up, GUS? And so I thought, okay, so I thought about one of my dear friend, and I realized I was supposed to go having a student exchange I wanted to go to UK. And I remember I wanted to go to UK, and I wanted to go for September. And then I got this letter, and they say, you're going to go to Sweden in January. And I thought, what? And so if it wasn't from this act of GUS, I would have not met my best friend, Maxim. And I'm now the godfather of his daughter, Rafael. And it's one of the most beautiful gifts I have in my life. And then I just decided to go from a job perspective. And then again, like I remember I lost my job once. And then I posted on Facebook. And then somebody said, "Hey, you know what? You should. Canon is looking for some people." Where is that coming from? Was that me? Like, was that me really applying to Canon? Or was that me just sending a little act, my own action, and then something happened, an act from Gus, saying, "Oh, yeah, we need some people." And so then I realized, okay, so if there's an act of God or an act of GUS, what's my role in that? Because, it was so clear, and do the exercise, it's so powerful. How many of your best manifestations are really, really only 100% created by you? There's always some sort of synchronicity, some luck, some circumstances. And then I asked myself, well, there was a little bit of my responsibility, and here's where my responsibility was. My responsibility was I was coming from my heart. I was following my heart. Like there's times where I decided to invest more money and it didn't make sense. But I had this intuition and I really wanted to go for it. Really wanted. It was coming from my heart and I decided to go for it. And if it wasn't from some of those investments, I know one for sure, I met my goddess. And if it wasn't from me having faith in myself, investing in myself, trusting my intuition, there's no way she would be in my life. And the way that I met her was an act of GUS. Like just, meeting her a little bit in Colombia, just enough so that when I meet her in Estonia, we recognize each other and we start a conversation, which led to us being together. I mean, where is that coming from? So I saw the theme. It's so powerful when you do it for yourself and you realize, oh, I was following my heart and there was an act of God. Or GUS. I was following my heart. I really wanted to have it and there's an act of GUS. So it's 100%. And then I was also thinking about someone, her name is Helen Keller. And she's very powerful because imagine this, like she was born with no sight and no ability to hear. And she was still able to be a writer. And it's unbelievable. They were talking her hands and she was able to kind of feel the lips of someone and even talk. Like she was able to just, I don't know how she was doing it because she was not able to hear. But it's just to show you the miracles. And so I also ask myself, the things that I have in my life that are worth everything, what would be the worth? Imagine you have no sight and you would love to see. What would it be worth to you to get eyes to see? What would it be worth to you to get the ears to hear something? What would it be worth to you to feel when you don't feel, or smell when you don't smell? What would it be worth to you to have the health because you don't have it? Or anything. Like you realize how much we have already in our life. Like Helen Keller was an example. She had no sight and no hear. She was able to smell, but and she had an amazing quote that I want to read you. She said, "The only thing that is worse than being blind is having sight but no vision." Think about it. I'm going to repeat it again. The only thing that is worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. So, do you want to empower your dreams? And now you might ask, okay, so what's the point, Francis? The point is have a vision and do the first step. So if you feel that you're trying to find a solution, you feel blocked, remember that GUS is with you. Remember that GUS is benevolent. Einstein said the most important question you can ask yourself is, do I believe that the universe is benevolent? And if you really truly believe that, then you're going to be supported and helped by GUS. And your responsibility is to have first the vision. And your responsibility is to do the first step with faith. Faith that you don't need to know the how. The how is going to be shown, and you just need to walk, and then you might be bounced off the other path because that's what you needed to do. You needed to be on the path first. You needed to walk first, do that first step, and then bam, GUS is helping you to go in the right direction. That's how I see it. And I've seen it with this exercise that I've done today. I encourage you to do it. So if you want to empower your dreams, have a vision. Take the first step. Have faith. And then let it go. Let it go. And be here now, like my grandma would say. I'll finish with this because this is for your grandma. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. Let us begin. Have an amazing week, guys. I love you.